Now, Jamie's with us to talk a bit more about this. Why is this Saudi World Cup bid attracting so much attention?
Well, we've spoken about the influence of Saudi Arabia across all sports a lot, and obviously huge amount of question marks regarding their human rights violations, the repression of women, LGBTQ+ rights, freedom of speech, mass executions. The list goes on and on and on. You know, sports washing exercises to cover all of that up. Extraordinary, FIFA's evaluation report of their bid awarded an average score of 4.2 out of 5. That's the highest ever, and that's despite concerns about migrant workers. Amnesty last month said that they'll face exploitation. Many will die. They said if a Saudi World Cup goes ahead, building new stadiums, building the infrastructure that's involved in obviously putting on something as huge as a World Cup and an expanded World Cup as well, 48 teams. It'll be by that stage as well. And one other thing, obviously, is the weather as well. Summer temperatures in Saudi Arabia can reach 40 degrees. This will almost certainly be another winter World Cup. And to avoid a clash with Ramadan, not as we saw in Qatar, a November to December World Cup, but probably a January World Cup as well. That's the speculation. FIFA haven't commented on that yet. But you can imagine the Premier League and other European leagues would oppose that. And as I said, an expanded World Cup as well. So it's really going to eat into the domestic calendar.
So normally there would be a vote, OK, for who's going to host the World Cup. But this has already been decided. Some countries not happy about that. Can you just explain for us what exactly has happened? Yeah,
I mean, this is essentially a coronation rather than a contest. Saudi Arabia will be confirmed as the 2034 bidder. Last October, it was announced they would be unopposed. Australia were the only other potential candidate. They decided not to enter in the end. They weren't given enough time by FIFA to prepare their bid. Australia were the only other candidate because FIFA had this rotation policy whereby only bids from Asia or Oceania were even going to be entertained for 2034. That's because in 2030, again, unopposed bid from Spain, Portugal and Morocco. 3 matches of that World Cup are being held in South America as well. So that is technically a World Cup being held across 3 different continents. That ruled out Asia, Africa, Europe, Africa or South America from hosting in 2034. And therefore, we've got this situation now. FIFA has kind of paved the way, if you like, for the Saudis. We heard in that report there from Rob from the Saudi World Cup bid Hamad Al-Balawi. And that was an exclusive interview with our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, earlier this year. And Kaveh asked him about that bidding process.
What would you say to people who would say that, you know, it just looks like a bit of a sham because it's not really a process if there's only one bid?
Well, the bid was open for everyone in October. We put forward our name. We're committed behind our bid. And we can tell you from our standpoint, we are taking this very seriously. And we've been very open. We've had great dialogue with all of the member associations to talk about our bid, to talk about our footballing objectives. And we invite people who have these questions to come to Saudi Arabia, to see firsthand the amazing football passion that there is, to really understand that this is a football kingdom, this is a football nation.
And Ellie, I think just to underline how controversial this is and how FIFA see it as controversial as well, it's, you know, it's a remote process that's happening today to confirm this bid, and these associations, the associations who will be there, will be asked to simultaneously show their support for both the 2030 bid, the Spain, Portugal, Morocco bid, and the Saudi 2034 bid, rather than 2 separate, what they call acclamations. And acclamations basically means that everybody has to give a round of applause whenever it is confirmed that this is the bid. And the only way for any of these these member associations to show their opposition to this bid is to basically not clap. And that basically shows you just how this is almost a sort of a formality. The Norwegian FA have already said they will abstain. They won't be joining this acclamation. But most associations are expected to do so, including our own FA.